Shalom, 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 shalom. Once again, you're not under the sounds of the voice of Kahan Tazadaq, and this is Yahweh's walk. Shalom, 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 shalom. Once again, you're not under the sounds of the voice. And since I'm going to actually be talking about commerce, I want to start off by saying this is not legal advice. I do not offer legal advice. If you need legal advice, seek yourself a competent counsel, and then please be advised. Everything I'm about to give you is strictly for educational, informational, entertainment purposes only. It's not to be taken nor misconstrued as legal advice. If you use any of this information and it causes you to fall flat on your face, it's because you didn't do your proper research. Research everything. And so with that, today I'm going to talk about Tazadaq standing over contracts and all guardians of the matrix as a secure party creditors. Many of you haven't become secure party creditors yet, and this goes without saying, family. As you come in the room, give a thumbs up. There was 4 people waiting. You know I don't play that, man. Come on. If you cut a thumbs up, costs you nothing. As you come in the room, Jacob, amen. Give a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up, okay? And so the information that I'm about to give you is intended to encourage you to stand as a man or as a woman, right? It's not that I have a disregard for the law. I don't. I respect the law when the law is the law. But anything that conflicts with the supreme law of the land, it is not law. Its purpose of this information is to ignite a desire within the listeners to reassess and to reinsert your sovereignty granted to you by the Creator. The sovereignty of your spiritual and physical existence that was given to you by the Creator. Hey, shalom, Richard. Shalom, big player. This is in no way legal advice, right? And further research is actually encouraged, as well as whatever advice you may require, whatever advice seems fit. So the context of the information that I'm about to give you is strictly for educational purposes only. And I'm going to give you some guidelines. And by the way, Tuesday night, I'm going to be, most high willing, appearing on Jeremiah Judah's show. I'm going to have Yashabin go over there with me to give a testimony, and Mikael and Israel. And so, yeah, we're going to get after it. So this right here is guidelines, right? Information which upon the matrix operate. If you utilize what I teach in my books, on my DVDs, at the seminars, you will be able to properly move around in the matrix like Neo. Now, although the information may be directed more specific towards the United States is a corporation according to 28 U.S.C. 3002, subsection 15A, which is a part of the matrix. Please understand that the entire world is under the system, if not the exact, is under a similar system of which I speak. The vehicle through which these concepts of control are being administered, they may look somewhat different if you're in Australia, if you're in Canada, if you're in Africa, but the principles are being applied or the same. It is my opinion that in order to move into a more expansive aspect of freedom, it is important to be armed with right knowledge. With right knowledge. If you don't have all of my books, you don't have the DVDs, you're denying yourself right knowledge. We are literally experiencing, right, reality, our lives within a system in which there are collective arguments by which the optical illusion and our experiences are being shared. That optical illusion is your matrix. Let me tell you a story. Most people like stories, right? Kango, right? Like the hat. Most people like stories, right? I'm Stefan the Don, so I'm gonna tell you a story. There was once upon a time a national conference of commissioners on the uniform state laws, which fathered 7 uniform commercial acts, one more beautiful than the other. There's also the story about the beautiful young girl who was as good as she was beautiful, from whose mouth diamonds fell at every word. She dropped jewels from her mouth. Diamonds fell. What was this girl's name, Stefan the Don? Her name was Commercial Law. And her name still is Commercial Law. This lovely maiden, she had a very, very ugly stepsister. Her stepsister was a hoe. She had a very ugly stepsister. Her stepsister's name was Commercial Code, whose mother was a wicked witch known professionally as the Bar Association or the American Law Institute. See, from the stepsister's mouth, there came forth only loathsome toads and reptiles, because essentially they're reptilians, right? Hope I'm not going over your head. Like the story so far, Stefan the Don. So toads came out of the stepsister's mouth and reptiles. Now, the 7 uniform acts are not that good, nor is the code that bad. I do not propose in this live stream to undertake an affirmative defense of the code. I shall restrict myself to commenting on the major points which has raised which I have raised over the years. Point by point is necessarily dull. So I could promise my listeners nothing but tedium, right? There is no reason for you to bear witness unless you're connected with validity of my reasoning for arguing that the code should not be adopted. I know the code. I know the code well. I've been a regular attendant at the meetings of the conference and the institutes, and have actually taken an active part in their discussions. I've sat in a court time after time. They thought I was a lawyer. They thought I was one of their brothers. So my conclusion are based on long study, about 15 years of study now, and expert knowledge, right knowledge. So in my videos and my books, I presumably made the strongest possible case for rejection of the code. And I put forward what I consider to be the most serious objections, the basic errors and fundamental flaws. Now, although there may be a great many leftovers, we are justified in assuming that this is the main dish. See, what I did not choose to serve up to, if there's not a great deal of major points, we may conclude that there is at least one seriously wrong with the code. Nothing as bad as the dream sequence of being out in public with no clothes on. You're out in public with no clothes on. They got you naked out here. They got you naked out here. Okay, come on, family. Let's get these thumbs up. You guys know I don't play this. We got 36 people on, and we only got 16 thumbs up. Let's get these thumbs up, man. Let's go, man. Let's get these thumbs up. It costs you nothing to give a thumbs up. That should be automatic when you come into the room. I don't really know what's wrong with you people, man. It costs you nothing to give a thumbs up, man. The thumbs up literally calls more people to the channel. So I say I'll attempt to meet on these principal issues. I don't intend to bore any of the listeners. If I do, perhaps it's your fault. So no one, certainly, I do not pretend that the code is perfect. Anyone who does should be submitted into a psych ward or have his head examined. Anyone who thinks that any term of legal or economical supermen could draft a perfect code should have their damn head examined. But most of you do. This is why you trust in the de facto. You believe in the code and you believe that they created perfect law. I'm not talking here of dispute or doubtful decisions on matters of policy, but of plain mistakes. The code has its share of mistakes, and so does, and so will every other statute ever drafted up by these policymakers. It is basic to understanding of the legislative process that the interplay between the court and the legislator, one of the important judicial functions, is to clean up the mess which the draftsmen inevitably leave behind. Apparently, they feel that it's better. The code could have actually been produced if twice as much time have actually been taken in the drafting up these codes, these rules, these statutes, and so on and so forth. I also suggest that the code should have been based on economic analysis, research, and investigation into the facts of commercial practice. We overrate the results that has been achieved by hiring a team of specialists and having a survey made. See, the bigger problem to be investigated, the longer the survey takes and the more it costs and the more doubtful the results. So the task of a statute, like a code, is to state basic principles under which business transactions can be carried out. Just tell me where I'm lying at. Still with me, Vincent? Roger that. Thumbs up as you come into the room. Mikael, again, I guess this is the Mikael from Jersey. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be on a show. Someone invited me to a show. They want to know more about sovereignty, teaching it to Israelites. So I would like to have you and Yashabin in Israel to come on with me as a guest, if that's the Mikael from New Jersey. So getting back to this, right? So this tax, right, does not require scientific knowledge of each business fact. Even such knowledge were conceivably available, which is not. Science performed miracles. We worship the control experiment of the laboratory, man, and think that salvation lies in applying his method to everything that we do. But what about the Most High? See, this is what happened when you extract the Most High, when you extirpate the laws of the Most High. What we get outside of the laboratory is an illusion of certainty. You get the Matrix, Vincent. You get the Matrix, Honest Johnson. See, in drafting of the statutes, a draftsman who is aware of the possibility of human error, he walks cautiously, is infinitely to be preferred to a pseudo-scientist who knows he has the truth. See, I'm not an advocate of happy ignorance. That's not me. You may be an advocate of happy ignorance. See, what we need and achieve in the drafting of the code was a good working knowledge of the facts of business life, right? At this stage, the code could not be substantially improved by returning it to the institute and the conference, to the bar, to the British bar. So I suggest spending another few years drafting. There comes in everything a point of diminishing returns, right? This system is about to diminish. Further drafting on this code, if one accepts its basic structure, would be mostly tinkering or else reopening policies, questions which have already endlessly been debated and solved as well as anyone knew how. It is fruitless. It is fruitless. It is fruitless to argue about the quality of the draftsman. The draftsmen's what? They're policymakers. They're part of the system. They're under a illuministic rule. They're part of the matrix. It is the quality of the draftsman that count. What are the quality of the people that's passing these laws, that's depriving you of your gun rights, that's depriving you of your right to travel? What is the quality of these draftsmen that's sitting down and making up these codes, these statutes? See, if the job is a good job, it would make no difference. If the draftsman had been reputable, it wouldn't make a difference. But that's not what's going on. The draftsmen of these codes are wicked. They're wicked. So Tazadaq does not prove that the code ought to be adopted. At most, the parrying approach takes us no further than to say the code is no worse than the present state of the law and contains no obvious errors of fundamental importance more than needed. See, my task, brothers and sisters, in this stream is a more modest one. A large part of their statutes, their codes, their rules, their regulations is restatement of earlier uniform acts. This is necessarily true since we have codifying statutes in the commercial law field for the past 50 years. And so once the need for recodification is admitted by the system, you got to admit that your system's corrupt, that your system is wicked. That's the average man. The average man gets divorce rate when he go into a court. So once the needed recodification is admitted, the necessity of restating the matter contained in the earlier acts automatically follows. But I understand that the extent to which the code is merely restatement by apparently assuming that the coverage of the various articles of the code is the same as the coverage of their analogs among the earlier acts. That's not true. The sales article of the code consists of considerable parts of material not touched by the Uniform Sales Act. The investment securities article is for more comprehensive than the Stock Transfer Act. The secure transaction article is a great deal more than a redoning of the Conditional Sales and Trust Receipts Act. Do you understand? Do you understand? Their codes is really not for us. Their statutes are really not for us. Their rules, their regulations, they rarely work in favor of us. So then what It's most of the people, Daniel. Most of the people are commercialized slaves. Commercialized slaves, young Tay. Again, as you come into the room, give a thumbs up. We got 41 people in. We only got 28 thumbs up. I'm going to pause briefly until we get some more thumbs up here, man. I'm going to pause briefly until a thumbs up costs you nothing. Should be automatic when you come in the room to give a thumbs up so that you could attract more people to the channel. You know how this works. Come on, family. Let's get those thumbs up. I'm going to pause for a second, Honest Johnson, until they get the thumbs up, man. See what we got here now. We got one person that gave a thumb up since I said that. So we're going to pause until these people get some more thumbs up, man. That's the least you could do for my time and energy. We got 42 people on the call right now, man. Automatically thumbs up when you come in, man. So in seeking spiritual freedom, we must realize that we've been experiencing our lives based on contractual programming. Right now, you're contractually programmed to not want to do a damn thumbs up because you've been dumbed down. You've been taught to hate your brother. What am I doing? I'm giving you love. I'm giving you my time and energy for free and research and valuable information that's likely to get your ass out of something you only give a thumbs up. So in seeking spiritual freedom, we must realize we've actually been experiencing our lives based on contractual programming, brainwashing, and control, all of which has allowed us to partake in the fullness of the game. You're in the matrix. But there is such a thing as winning or figuring out the game. I think I figured out the game, Brian. People don't want to listen. I've been telling them for years. I think I figured out the game. There are many levels to the game, and it's within our right to determine just how much of the game we're interested in unveiling. I'm trying to show you how to unveil the game, man. Unveiling means change, so you may find the many will not readily jump on board for such deep levels of unveiling. Most people don't want this. See a thumbs down. You didn't even hear that stream. You just gave a thumbs down. That's a deader, miserable person. That's a deader hater. And deaders love their hate. But I transform their energy because energy is never wasted. So even your negative thumbs down, I appreciate that. Your energy is never wasted. I transform it into something positive. So it is very easy to convince yourself, however, that you are operating within joy. Many of you foolishly think you're happy right now. How in the hell can you tell me that you're happy when in October they're about to hit you with a damn mandatory one world ID? You don't get it, you can't travel. They're about to hit you with mandatory vaccines or you can't travel. How in the hell are you happy in a world like this? There's a possibility that there may be Operation Covert Phase 2. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up, man. But let's get more of them up. There may be an Operation Covert Phase 2. But you think that you're in joy. And you really falsely believe that you're in a divine space of peace. La, 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 la. It all sounds really great and empowering, as most of the enlightenment information out there is developing into the structures of the matrix system. Neither are you being encouraged to see what is really going on behind the scenes. Instead of one is being encouraged to simply find peace. Hey, find peace. Don't make war. Find peace. Like the guy, the effeminate dude that came on the channel, Ariel. No, man, God wants us to be peaceful. Even when someone's beating the hell out of you, even when your wife's a whore, the Most High wants you to be peaceful. Get your mind right, King. Get your mind right. They're telling you to find peace all of the time when they beating the hell out of you with student loans. They lynching you. with foreclosures, credit card debts. They got that damn knee in your neck. They got a financial knee in your neck. And the police got his foot up your damn ass. And you scared as I don't know what. And so they want you to act like you just feel good all the time. That's absolute insanity, family. As you are being asked to continue the fracturing of yourself. So it would be like asking you to ignore everything that you have experienced when all of your experiences are stepping stones. It's about balance and allowing yourself the pleasure of feeling whatever it is that you feel in the moment. Examine it and move forward instead of focusing on joy and peace, man. They got you in a matrix, man. You think you all right, but you're not all right. That's why one thing with your wife and you ready to snap. One thing with your husband, you ready to snap. A divorce, that's what it is. That's what I want. You ain't at peace. So to focus on one or the other is to reinforce the possibility of the polar opposite coming into play. There's a global enslavement. I need you people to hear me well, man. And some of you, you're going to think you're Tazadaq, he's a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, man. I deal with facts, actual facts. There's a global enslavement in place and has been for some time. Hence, the program autopilot life, which you have been living. Go to work 8 hours, 12 hours. I need a little more work overtime. 12 hours, 16 hours. Come home, eat real quick. Have sex with your wife like you're a minute man for 1 minute and go to bed and do the same thing all over again. And you wonder why she's cheating. She's committing adultery at work. And you're committing adultery. And then the divorce comes. This is systematically, strategically planned. It's global enslavement. You've been taught that you're supposed to work and make Bill Gates rich. While you're poor, you're working like a damn slave your entire life. Your entire damn life. And you hate it. How the hell are you going to tell me you're at peace? You hate the job that you have, but you know why you do it? You look at the little ones and you realize, damn, I got to put food on the table. So you rather suffer year after year after year instead of walking away from that and say, listen, man, I'm a man. I'm going to provide for myself. You don't have the courage. So this global enslavement is enforced through government, through religion, Roman Catholicism, Baptists, Seventh-day Adventists, Islam, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad or Rasulullah, Krishna, Gandhi. This global enslavement is enforced through religion. You understand? Through education. They dumb the boys down. Program them for prison. Teach you to walk in a single file and all of that. They program you for prison. Make sure that little Ray Ray is not reading on a 4th grade level. By the time he reached the 4th grade, he's almost guaranteed for prison. Stop me where I'm lying at. Stop me where I'm lying at, Brian Austin. They're programming you with these things, of which the corporate system plays a major role. The corporate enforcement is controlled by silent empires of illuministic rulers, of banksters. It's the deep state. They have a silent empire. They're moving, but you don't see it. They put a couple small dudes on a damn string like Donald Duck. You understand? And they dangle him around like a yo-yo. Woo, I got a yo-yo. Woo, I got a yo-yo. They dangle him like a damn yo-yo. And you all get mad with him, but he's having his strings pulled by the real banksters and secret government and deep state that's controlling the yo-yos. The yo-yos and the dodos are out front, man. The real enemy don't want you to know who they are. The secret societies, man. The hoarders of wealth. And the forces outside of the direct region of time, but closely attached to this local. See, the world is commercially enslaved, meaning that we are locked into a contractual commercial agreements governed by the laws of the Uniform Commercial Code, which is the New World Order. Uniform Commercial Code. Money is no longer an instrument of exchange backed by any substance with a higher frequency vibration value as gold. Stop me where I'm lying, Stefan. Tell me I'm lying, Vincent. It is backed by nothing other than more debt. How the hell are you going to pay a debt with a debt discharge? It is called Federal Reserve notes. They are promissory notes of exchange. A promise to pay, and boy, are you paying with your life. Damn, you paying right now. Some of you at work right now, man. Some of you at work right now. Your life is force being used to run the machine and will continue to do so until you as a man chooses to withdraw your consciousness from the control of the system, which is the matrix. Understand that. Understand that, Stefan. Understand that, Vincent. Talk back to me, deal maker. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal maker. You become a secure party creditor in 5 years. You'll be debt-free and not having to go into a job. Let's make that deal maker. Richard Stewart said, not so long. Let's make a deal. Let me tell you how the matrix works, right? First of all, Richard, no one can know this information for you. No one can know this information for you, Vincent. No one can be free for you, Stefan. Tazadaq can't be free for you. You are responsible for your own freedom once armed with right knowledge. My books, my DVDs. Go to the website, get them now. Your pa posted them in the room. Spiritual freedom is what is to be achieved. This is spiritual. The first damn thing that a debtor wants to do when he comes into this, you know what he wants to do? Oh, Tazadaq, I'm discharged of debt. How I get a black card? How I get a gold card? Listen, man. I'm not the dude for that, man, because I'm not going to sit you up for failure. You have a debtor's mentality. This is spiritual, man. This is all spiritual. This is about the redemption of a Mashiach Yahushua. Your redemption comes through the blood of a Mashiach Yahushua. A lot of people, they don't understand any damn thing about being sovereign, man. He died, man, so that you could be redeemed. Hamashiach did. So this is spiritual freedom. That's what to be achieved. It is a reclaiming of your birthright. You got to stop calling yourself Negro, black, colored, African American, Jamaican, Trinidadian. You understand? Puerto Rican, Mexican. Reclaim your birthright, man. It is a discovery of self. Who are you? Let me ask you a question. Who are you? I got a question, man. I got a question for Michelle. Michelle, who are you? Who are you, Michelle? Where do you live? And that's not rhetorical. I seriously want to answer. Gabrielle, who are you? Where do you live? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to post a link in the room. And I want those two personnel to come in the room and answer that question. Who are you? Where do you live? What is your country? Come on in and answer the question, Michelle. Come on in and answer the question, Drake. Come on in, Drake. Where do you live? Michelle says she live in the USA. Click on the link. Come on in the room, Michelle. Click on the link. Come on in the room, Drake. Vincent said the goal is the seat of your loins. What the hell is he talking about? Maybe he meant that metaphorically. So who are you? So if you get the books, DVDs, you can get out of this. Can't be an African, Michelle. African is a Greek word. African native, huh? That's a Greek word. So you can't be African. That has nothing to do with our heritage. They're slaves just like you. Go over there, Esau's controlling everything. What's going on, Drake? Who are you? Where do you live, Drake? Oh, he fell out. Information's too powerful. Jay-Zo. Say the American Republic. Come on in the room, Jay-Zo. The link's in the room, man. Those of you want to step up, step right up, man. Some of you think you know, but you have no idea. If you listen to some of these so-called sovereign people online, they tell you just enough damn information to get you in trouble, man. So I've created an outline of basic information on a contractual agreement by which the system operates and by which you have been held spellbound. You're spellbound. Agreements of slavery being unknowns to you. You're a slave. I tell you who you are. You're a black slave. Kendrick, you're a black slave. You're a black slave, Michelle. You're not African. You got to mute that, Drake. I'm getting feedback from you. You got to turn your YouTube down. So you're beginning to understand why you have felt the way that you felt. And you yearn for freedom. You can't even call me a liar, man. Stop me where I'm lying at, Cynthia Moore. Tell me I'm lying, facts. You're beginning to understand why you felt the way that you felt and why you yearn for freedom that's been denied to you. You're not free. Are you free? Mo? You free? Mo? You say you're Floridian. Come on in here, Mo. All these guys, these people, they're wise in their own mind. Come on in. All you guys that think you know, just come on in, man. Come on in. Stop typing like a keyboard ranger. Come on in the room. Here's your opportunity to speak up, right? Because all you guys are throwing out all kind of answers. Come on in the room, man. You've been asked to come forward. So you will begin to understand why you felt the way that you felt for all these years. But you cannot, your freedom can't be defined. What is your freedom? Why you can't seem to achieve the so-called success that you want? Why the struggle? Why the ongoing battle of survival? You may have to read my book several times, man. But I would also suggest listening to the seminar DVDs. What we got here? Water. I didn't even see either one of these people over there talking. These people came in. Here's Vince. What you got, Water? Walter? What you got?
Up? The question was where do we live, right?
Come on. Let me ask you a question before we go there. I see you got your graduation hat on. Oh, you fell out. I see you got your graduation hat on, Walter.
Yeah, that's a high school picture.
Right. Yeah, irregardless to whom or what, right? Do you know that that's based on masonry?
I do. I found that out recently.
Come on, why don't you break it down for the people that don't know, then, man?
I
Since you
mean,
do know, explain it to the people that know, man. That hat.
I don't know the whole truth, but I know that the word diplome is a word that is actually used in a different way that we think it is. When you graduate, it's actually them taking your chief feathers from you and giving you
Come on,
I don't know the name. What's the name of the thing on my head in the picture?
come on. Well, I mean, it's a square. I mean, it's really essentially, man. If you every angle has 90 degrees,
Hmm.
and so it brings you to 360, man.
Yes,
It's basically
that's
why
what
they
it
squared
is.
it off like that, and let the tassel swing freely. And I
They do.
noticed, you got the tassel on the left hot side. All of that is symbolic, man. But
Hmm.
go ahead, brother. You was gonna answer who are you? I believe.
Well, I know I'm an American national. I live in Florida currently, as we speak, but I'm from Haitian descent.
All right. So when you say an American national, what exactly? Help them out.
That's
Explain
that's
that to them, man. What
that's
exactly
my
is that?
that's my nationality. I was born in America. It's also a part of your birthright. A lot of people haven't claimed their American nationality. They're stuck in the race game, where it's just black, white, yellow, green, and all the other colors.
So let me ask you this: is Donald Trump an American then?
Hmm. I don't know where he was born. I would say yes. I
Oh,
would say
okay.
yes.
Do you have a Webster's 1828 unabridged dictionary?
I don't currently.
I want you to see if you could Google that real quick. I'll show you that he's not an American.
He's not.
He's not. Let's Google it. Let's deal with etymology. See, this is why I say most people suffer from aphasia, right? Let's look up what an American is. Google American in the Webster's unabridged 1828 dictionary and read that dictionary. I mean, read that definition to the room and see if a lot of these people are alleging that the Americans really are. You'll be astounded by what you think you know. And by the way, brother, that thing on the top is called a motherboard on the top of that graduation hat. Still in here? Or he fell out.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up, but my phone won't let me do both.
Yeah, well, so I'll tell you, I got it memorized. So a true American is one of the many natives found by Europeans, one of the many natives with the copper colored skin found by Europeans when they arrived in America. That's what a true American is. And I'm paraphrasing that. So the true Americans have, hold on, Drake, hold on. Drake, you're gonna have to mute yourself. You're bringing in a lot of noise. So, did you get that,
Yeah,
Walter?
I fixed it.
Yes, I did. It was also my understanding that the true Americans were the ones from, Jamaica, Haiti, those type of colored people.
Israel.
Well, I'm not sure what you're meaning by that because that word Jamaican, that's a misnomer within itself. Haiti and all of that, those are misnomers.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the true definition of American. Like the copper colored people, I know that's the definition they give in the law the law book, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So let's get back to your hat real quick, man, before I entertain the next thing. So that the graduation hat that you have on right there, that thing is called a mortarboard. And so when you look at a stonemason's mortarboard, it's flat, just like that hat. It's a flat piece of wood measuring about 24 inches square. And it's usually placed on a stand and a scaffolding near the wall that is being built. The mortarboard held the wet mortar until the stone setter applied it to the stones. And so the mason's towel. So all of that, the whole graduation hat, it goes back to masonry. So you know what I mean, they put this right in our face. We put our children and stuff in it, and we don't know what the hell is going on. And guess what? Masonry was actually infiltrated by the Bavarian Illuminati, man, in 1776. That's your original. What you think is independence is when the Bavarian Illuminati infiltrated America. They infiltrated Masonry in America and took it over under Adam Weishaupt.
But the Huguenots.
Come on. So yeah, just thought I'll stop right there. What you got, Vincent? Vincent, what you got?
I ain't got none. I just listening. I walk in.
You don't have anything?
I just need to listen to the knowledge, brother.
Let me ask you this then, Vincent. I got something for you. Where do you live? I hear that. Where do you live?
I domicile in the Republic of Pennsylvania. I going through some things. I'm a 45-year-old man, and I've been living life happy-go-lucky. I'm a very spiritual person. I believe the universe protects me. I'm an artist. I draw, paint, all of that. But I got involved with a young lady 20 years ago this year. And now I got to face reality of how the system don't manipulate people and make innocent people look like criminals. So I am a crash. I know you see me post and stuff. I'm sorry I can't donate because I gotta remove myself from the system fully, and I doing different things. But I gotta get the knowledge quick. So this is a 2-year crash course. I like certain things you said. I got, for example, I'm going through child support. You said you gotta check the credibility of the people who judging us. Am I correct in saying that? You said something like that in this broadcast. The person
who a lot of things, but
the person
if you live, where'd you say you live again? Let me make sure I heard you correctly.
I domicile in Pennsylvania. I live in my body.
Let me be even more specific. We're gonna play judge and jury here. Let me be more specific. Let's say I'm the black robe. You're in court. Mr. Vincent Quinones, can you please approach the bench, sir?
Sir,
come on into the court, sir.
Sir,
you're in the bar.
I refuse, sir. I refuse to cross the bar, as it is my right as a man, and I present this birth certificate document that have the name that you're calling. My name is not that. My name is different.
Okay, well, I'm not going to play this game with you today. I'm going to give you one more chance. If you don't get into this court, I'm actually going to put out a warrant for Vincent. So I'm going to ask you one more time. If you're Vincent, then come on in. If you're not Vincent, I'm going to issue a warrant for his arrest. Now, are you Vincent or are you not Vincent? I'm not going to fool around. I'm not going to play this sovereignty foolishness. Are you Vincent or are you not Vincent? Because if you're not Vincent, I'm going to issue a warrant for his arrest.
Sir, I didn't say I was sovereign. I present Vincent.
Are you Vincent or are you not Vincent?
I present Vincent Quinones on this birth document. In the special appearance document I presented, I am a man known by the name of Vincent, but this is Vincent in this document.
Okay, so since Vincent's not here, we're gonna go ahead and issue a warrant for his arrest. Get out of my court. Get out of my
Sir,
So
sir,
he's gonna issue a
sir,
warrant. The judge is gonna issue a warrant for your arrest based on that premise right there that you just gave.
sir, for the
Get
record,
out of my
are
court.
you stating, sir,
Bailiff,
for
get
the
him out of my
record,
court.
for the
Get him out
record,
of my
you must state, did Vincent not appear today?
You're in
For
contempt.
the record, sir, are you stating that Vincent did not appear today?
You would have been arrested already if the judge tell you to get out of the
Next.
court and you don't respond.
But
You're arrested.
for the record, I gotta get it for the record, and I won't appear in a prejudice courtroom because, like you said earlier, they're already against us.
Well,
You know what I mean? So
I've
you
seen
got
many times where people responding the way that you're responding now, they think that they're responding correctly. First of all, when you go into a court, the fact of the matter that you're in the court, that court is already colorable, right? Unless you're
Right.
into an Article 3 court. So that court is already colorable. So when the judge tells you this is my court, he literally means that. So
Right.
when the judge states something and what you're doing, even though you think what you're doing is correct, you're presenting an argument. You're arguing, and so you're gonna lose.
So how to like I ain't arguing because I ain't arguing. My face and my heartbeat didn't even raise.
Well, you see, again, it's called aphasia. Most people have totally lost the ability to comprehend words. When I say you're arguing, I don't mean you have to be excited or anything. An argument is any form of disagreement, right?
Right.
When you argue in a court, you're gonna lose. Let's do it too. You're gonna lose because that's what they do. They argue, but they argue with words that you think you might know, but you really don't. So, and the reason I'm saying this, that he would issue the warrant, because I've seen it again and again. When people try to present that argument, that you're presenting, there's specific ways that you need to respond to this dude when he starts saying that. Because when people generally now when people try and bring up here on special appearance, so on and so forth, and then he said, when I asked you if you're not Vincent, I'm gonna issue a warrant for your arrest. You kept going on. So the judge, what I've seen, the judge is, hey, get out of my court. Since you're not here, I'm gonna issue a warrant for his arrest. And as soon as you walk out, they arrest you and throw you in the box. They arrest you and throw you in the box. I've seen it time and again. Because
So what was the correct response then? You know what I mean? If I can't state what the knowledge is that I'm finding and I'm full of it, what
you
is
did you did attempt to and that's the problem. You did attempt to state, but when you make statements, now you got to prove those statements, and you can't prove anything. You see, that's the problem. You're making statements instead of asking questions or rephrasing what he's presenting to you in the form of a question. Can I get into trouble for asking a question? Let me ask you that.
No,
Can I be charged with anything for asking a question?
but they don't answer questions.
So then how
They
can it
don't
go
answer
anywhere?
the going response to the any question in Pennsylvania. You could even ask about your payment. All they say is just pay. We don't answer legal questions. That's I don't know if anybody else.
You're way off, brother. You're right. They can't be a legal attorney for you. You're missing the mark of what I'm saying about asking questions. I mean, everything that you state in court, everything that you say, viva voce, say, it needs to be phrased in the form of a question. Otherwise, you are going to incriminate yourself.
Okay.
If you make statements, you're going to incriminate yourself. They're going to flip that around. They're going to say, well, you say you wasn't him.
So when they ask me if I'm Vincent Quinones, I supposed to turn around and ask them, am I Vincent Quinones?
Not necessarily. You really got a lot to learn, brother. You got a lot to learn. I don't mean it like that. You're meaning it blatantly. I'm saying my point is everything that you said, it was in form of a statement.
Right.
People can't get in trouble. Stop and listen for a second. Listen for a second, brother. No one gets in trouble for asking a question ever. You can't. You can't be charged for asking a question, right? But you're always charged when you make statements. Is it not true that you stated on such and such? But now, if he asks me, am I such and such, can I not rephrase that in the form of a question? Why not start by establishing the type of court instead of going into this argument that you're going into? When he starts, am I so and so? For the record, I would like the court to state the type of court this is. Is this a criminal court or is it a civil court? What is it operating under? That's the first thing that we need to establish. I need to establish what type of court I'm going into. If I don't know what kind of court I'm going into, they could practice any kind of colorable laws against me that they wish. While I'm sitting here making statements, he's gonna, hey, this is my court.
Right.
So first of all, I establish the type of court it is. Then the next thing I do before any of that other thing, because what you're going into is the merit of the case. Court needs to show jurisdiction. So we establish the status of the court. Then once we determine the status, it's a jurisdiction. What gives you jurisdiction over me? Oh, personam jurisdiction and jurisdiction over the subject matter. How did they get it? If they don't have it, everything else is irrelevant because you can't proceed. Not lawfully, legally they can. This is why it's always important to make sure a court report is in there. Because if they try to proceed, you can't determine whatever decision the judge is going to make right there in his court, but you can issue an order to overturn the decisions as soon as that court is over. Because if you got this, all of this is on the record and you're pressing the record, you will have a record of everything that was stated. That's why a court report is important. Otherwise, you're going to have their court reporter and he may not take notes in your favor. She may not take notes in your favor. Supposed to. But sometimes they try to edit that out. I've seen it. If the judge is taking notes, you're FUCKED. He's going to take notes in his favor.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about it, brother. When you talk to anyone, if there's a way that someone could speak to you and you can rephrase that in the form of a question, you can't get in trouble. You know when people get in trouble? When they start making statements. You never get in trouble for asking questions. Because how can you charge me saying, is it not true? My honor. I'm asking a question. I'm not making any statements. I'm being careful. When we start making statements, you get in trouble now, man.
Yeah.
Well, here he is right here. He's the birth certificate. Hold on. What's likely to come from that, brother? He's going to send you to a psych evaluation. And when they send you to a psych evaluation, they have their own psychiatrist that's working with the court, which is illegal, by the way, because when you talk to a professional psychiatrist, they can't really make an official analysis by just seeing you on one occasion. They need to see you over a period of time usually. But these court psychiatrists, they do it all the time because they're working for the court.
I hear you. Well,
yeah, man. Hey, Ash, what you got, brother? American, what is that? American Holocaust. I think that's Ash.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Your screen's not moving though. Well, okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure this. This is kind of new to me. Like you just start out by saying it's an honor to have this opportunity.
Are you Jewish, Ash?
my phone.
Because I see the American Holocaust. Akme vini vri.
Well, yeah, it's something I've discovered in Battleland and Clark.
So you said this is all new to you? Yeah, I can't hear you now.
Yes.
I think you're going in and out.
Yeah, I'm running on a telephone.
Your volume's going in and out. Yeah, your mouth is moving, but
Can
now
you
you're
hear me
not
now?
saying- Yeah, I think your connection is bad. Yeah, can't. Oh, your connection is bad, bro. I can only hear you.
Survivor.
Yeah, you're coming through really broken up. Can anyone else hear him, or it's just me having a problem hearing him? Hey, Jeffrey, can you hear him?
It's broken.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Ash.
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
Yeah, your connection, his connection's off. All right, what you got, brother? Jeff.
Yeah, I was just listening in. Got in kind of late, but the question was asked also, is Donald Trump an American? And absolutely not. He is not. You know, he may be a naturalized United States citizen, but to be American, you got to be American by blood. And no Caucasian, unless their father, no, you can't. I mean, no Caucasian can be American. They can be naturalized United States citizens, but in order to be an American, I'm not sure if you got that definition, but it's a copper colored people, and you have to be through the lineage of your blood of your father.
Okay. Cynthia Moore, come on in the room. So, all of you should understand that your birth certificate is a contract. Your marriage license is a contract with the state. Your driver's license is a contract. Your social security card is a contract. The state is the true guardian of your children. They own them just as they own you and your life force for economic gain. You own nothing, man. I know this upset a lot of people, man, but you own nothing. This is why, they could say, you know what, no one come outside. And they lock you down for 2 months and no one comes outside. Everyone's afraid to come outside. And they're arresting you. Let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. Now, how in the hell, you see how people was getting arrested for coughing and said they have COVID? How in the hell is that lawful, man? Can you prove that I just harmed you by damn coughing? You understand what I'm saying? That's absolute dictatorship. You had cops that was arresting people, man, for just coughing and saying, oh, yeah, you're biological terrorists. First of all, you got to prove that I have it. See, that's all statutory. And that's the kind of system that we've allowed ourselves to be submerged into. And when it happens to one of the people and everyone else sits back and don't do anything, you allowing it to happen to us all. This is why you got states of New York, state of New Jersey, state of whatever, that's making it exceedingly difficult for you to even have a damn gun in that state. Now, how is that lawful when the Constitution, Second Amendment, says you have a right to bear arms? That's a right, not given to you by the Constitution, but a right inherited from your creator, the YHWH. That's a right. And guess what, man?
Amen.
Shalom. Go ahead, shalom. Can't hear you again, Ash. I'm not sure what's going on with his connection, but that's a right. You understand? So when we allow them to infringe, like, this is the other thing I want to say, right? You got a lot of people hating on Donald Trump. Oh, yeah, I hate him. He's a racist. So damn what? At least he's not trying to deprive your damn gun laws. I'm going to tell you something, man. If Democrats, and I'm not voting, because you're either voting for Lucifer, not Lucifer, you're voting for either the devil or Satan. And either way, you're going to catch hell, right? But they're really Republicans. It's the same damn party. It's meant to deceive us all. Because they coalesce and they work together to keep us in bondage, man. To keep us in bondage. Let me tell you something, man. When you get on the corporate levels, they really don't care about your skin color. It's not skin color, man. It's all about status. They don't give a damn about your skin color. It's all about status. When you're dealing in law, it's your status. What is your status? If you're a Negro, black, colored, African American, you F-U-C-K-E-D, man. You're not dealing with nationality. So it's all about status, man. And so, what are you going to do, Cynthia Moore, when they tell you got to take this mandatory vaccine? When they tell you can't travel without the One World ID? What are you going to do then? Tell you can't travel unless you've been inoculated. And when you get inoculated, they might more than likely injecting you with something that you don't want there. Put a damn chip in you, man, a nano chip. Every time you go to any kind of public facility, you're at risk, man. We're in a real matrix. You people think this is a movie, man. You're living your life like a movie. This is real, man. This is not no conspiracy theory BS. And they got you by contract law, man. They own you, man. For economic gain. You own nothing. Not your car, not your house. But what can you do to begin to own yourself? Become a secure party creditor, man. You gotta stop being a debtor.
You got to change your status from Black or African American to something else.
See, based on the current system, there's only two statuses. They got you guys saying, oh, it's white versus black versus Asian versus Hispanic. No, man. It's the man of the flesh versus the fictional person. A corporate artificial entity, a straw man. You understand? A straw man is a front, man. It's a third party. It's a third party who put up in name only to take part in a transaction in name only. The straw man is an artificial person created by colorable law at one's birth via the birth certificate. The straw man is a fictitious name written in a manner outside of the rules of proper English grammar. Who writes a damn name in all capital letters unless it's a corporation? A straw man is a separate legal entity that benefits the creator. Who's the creator of the straw man? The de facto, the U.S. government. Because the creator can then accomplish things in the name of the straw man that would not otherwise be permitted. This is why they call your name in court, man. Secretly acquire property. Do business with one's enemies. All through the straw man. See, the people of the world have been politically and financially ravaged because they did not know their alter ego, their public persona, the straw man. The straw man has been used against them by their government, aka de facto, for the purpose of their wealth, which is then conveyed to the creditor of the said bankrupt government. So after redemption, secure party creditor process is redemption. See, after redemption, one can use the straw man for one's benefit rather than being enslaved and abused because of the straw man. That's the difference. And that's what's important. Your name in all capital letters identifies your straw man as an artificial entity, a corporation. Case in point, John Henry Doe. This all capital name can be found on all documents, such as your driver's license. You know it, you heard it before, your passport, your contracts, your bank accounts, your social security card. But under the Uniform Commercial Code, the straw man is defined as and serves as a transmitting utility. Stop me where I'm lying at. Go and look it up under the Uniform Commercial Code. The straw man is a transmitting utility. And the crazy thing about this is they deny it when you bring it to them. So if you're not rooted in this, you're wasting your time. What is the purpose of the straw man? What is the purpose of the straw man, Walter? What's the purpose of the straw man, Drake?
The purpose of the straw man is to get you to sit in the place of the entity that they created and have all control over, so that they can hold you responsible for whatever they want to do to that entity.
Come on, beautiful, beautiful. Every woman, or should I say every womb man and child was assigned the straw man as a model, as a vehicle of operating in commerce. The purpose of the straw man is so you can operate in commerce. The straw man is a product of the United States, not the United States of America. You understand? What is commerce? What is commerce, man? Daniel? I see you back there, Daniel. Come and
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
That doesn't sound like Daniel, man. Daniel's from the hood. Daniel Marquez.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you sound a little different, man.
in
Are you a
what
brother
sense?
from Jersey?
I'm the one from the UK.
All right, different Daniel, man. I thought you was a brother from New Jersey.
No, I'm from the UK, West Midlands.
All right. Gotcha. So what is commerce, Daniel? Mahmoud.
Well, I think you already established the basic concept, isn't it, of what it is, commerce and private corporations, okay? That, as you said, they are run by the Illuminatis. And obviously they make people become objects, okay? Because you cannot do commerce without objects. Okay,
So, we got, excuse me, Daniel. We got 72 people watching. We only got 46 thumbs up. Let's get the thumbs up when you come in the room, because that attracts more people to the channel. Don't worry, the channel's not monetized. You're not giving me anything. It just attracts more people here to hear this message. Because the more people to hear the message, the more effective it becomes. Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay, so basically what you said is true by law, by natural law, and the root of it is from Roman law, isn't it? Because all the laws of the modern nations are rooted in Roman law, and that is prophetic as well. You know, the last exile of the Jews was from who? From Rome. So basically the first one was Babylon, then Egypt, then Assyria, etc. And then they had the Roman exile. Okay, so basically all those laws that come from Europe, they established them in the Americas through the British Empire, isn't it? So when you talk about commerce, okay, one is the natural law that comes from God, and the other is the law that these fake corporations, okay, because they are fake entities, they have no soul behind them.
Daniel? What is commerce? What is commerce?
Basically, is trading, is engaging in economic activities. Okay,
Answer
but
that.
in this case, like you said, in the United States, you're
It's
engaging
law merchant.
through the state.
Go ahead, Mahmoud. Oh, hold on, Daniel. Mahmoud got something he want to say. Go ahead, Mahmoud.
It's the law merchant,
Right.
based on the
Expand on
Babylonian
that, Mahmoud.
system. Talmudic law, law of the merchant.
Right.
Basically, it's a usufruct.
You're a public person.
Right. Why though? It's because we live under two systems. We live under the United States and we live under the United States of America. Well, what's the difference? Anyone know the difference between those two things, man? The United States is Inc. It's a corporation. The
It's a
United
legal
States is a corporation, man. A corporation, a bankrupt organization per House Joint Resolution 192, June the 5th, 1933, Senate Report 93, 549, I believe it is. It's a de facto government, originally a 10 square mile tract coded by Maryland and Virginia and comprising Washington, D.C., plus the possession of territories, forts, arsenals, embassies, and so on and so forth. It's a foreign jurisdiction to the United States of America. Most people, you tell the average Joe that, he thinks you're crazy. Whereas the United States of America is the republic, organic law, is the Constitution adopted by the people. See, there's a difference right there. And you got to be able to discern that. And right now, man, we've been operating in the United States for a long damn time. So all license, contracts, driver's license, marriage license, social security, mortgage, auto registrations, bank accounts, permits, subsidies, business license fees, they all fall under commerce. All instruments, a contract through which you are given permission, like a gun permit. You're not given rights. You're given permission. Let me ask you a question, Mahmoud. You sound like a very intelligent guy, right?
Yes, sir.
If your son or daughter come to you and say, "Hey, Dad, can I go outside?" That means it's like you're in charge of them, right? Because they had to come to you for permission. That's the same.
That's right. Their
same
father. They're a minor.
That's a privilege. Because he might have done something. You said, "No, you're not going out tonight. I asked you to clean your room." So that's a privilege. That's the same thing that this de facto could do to you, man. That's a privilege. Right. So a permission is a privilege to interact in commerce. And your name appears in all capital letters on all of these instruments that you need to interact in commerce with your store man, your front. So in other words, your acceptance of these instruments is contractual agreement. So it has to be consent. There's always consent. Most people are actually arguing about most of this stuff, but there's always consent. Usually somehow, some shape, some form of fashion, you consent it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to do it to you. You consent it. So the next thing to do is to take back consent.
Correct, because how can the state, county, whatever, corporation claim that it's been harmed by you? And that's why they're pulling you into these colorable courts, because they're claiming that we harmed them somehow. But where's the injured party at?
Now, I have a question. Jeffrey, Mahmoud, Walter. Well, Mahmoud raised a relevant question. He said, where's the injured party? Now, I got a question. If I'm a U.S. citizen Do they really need an injured party? If as a U.S. citizen, your rights are limited. You're property of the corporate United States and company, right? And subject to the contractual laws of the U.S. in order to engage in commerce. Citizens are members of a political community who, in their associated capacity, have established or submitted themselves to the dominion of the government for the promotion of the general welfare and protection of their individuals as well as collective rights. That's Black Law's Dictionary. Go look it up for yourself, man. So if you're a citizen, you're already subject to the jurisdiction thereof. But you go in court and you try to fight jurisdiction, he said you're double-minded. Lock him up. Send him to a shrink. He's double-minded. Is this guy crazy? He just told me he was a U.S. citizen. Now he wants to argue jurisdiction. How can a U.S. citizen argue jurisdiction? He can. But he's going to lose. Now we're dealing with status. That's the first thing you established in the status. What is your status? Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you a man? All I know is I'm an aggrieved man.
So correct me if I'm wrong. A citizen is a public office.
Well, a citizen is a subject. A U.S. citizen is a subject. That's a subject.
Is it on record that you're an agreed man?
I'm a secure party creditor.
The
only thing we're required to do is to put, see, with the birth certificate and all the other contracts, one of the questions on all of those things is, are you a U.S. citizen? People have actually checked yes over and over again. And they already know that you are. So sometimes when you go in to fill out other forms, they ask you that question again to get you to restate it, to reinstate your U.S. citizenship. So in order to remove that, you have to come forward and you put them on notice and say, hey, I no longer want to be a United States citizen. I'm an American national, competent to handle my own affairs. So I handle that. King Magic, what you got to say about all of this? What you got to say about this, King Magic? I see you in the back room.
Shoot, I don't really got nothing to say because I'm new to this, but what I really want to know is what's the first thing I can do right now while I'm sitting on my couch just listening?
The first thing you could do is go and order my smallest book, The Infliction of Commerce, from the website, because the rabbit hole goes deep. And you don't want to do anything without first arming yourself with knowledge.
Correct.
Kind of like taking a test, right? If you go into a test that you haven't studied for, you're going to be uneasy. You're going to try and cheat on someone else's paper. You don't even know if they have the same test that you have.
I ain't gonna be prepared.
Come on. The first thing to do is to be prepared. And you do that by arming yourself with right knowledge, man. It's the best thing that you could do, brother.
And what I want to say for everybody listening right now, bro, I'm from the hood, bro. I'm knee deep in the hood in Orlando, Florida. Shooting every day, people down every day, police outside every day. The spirit let me here.
Do they really need an injured party? It's simply you're more mute the background. Your rights are limited. You're a property of the United States and company, right? Cynthia Moore, mute your YouTube. In order to engage in commerce, citizens are members of a political community. Cynthia Moore, mute your YouTube. Let me mute her, man. Go ahead, King. Magic.
Nah, I was just saying for everybody, man, the Almighty real. Y'all is real, man. Real, you really is. So what this man's saying, listen to him because he is working through him. He is really working through him. I know he is, and I believe everything he is. I don't even got to know who he is. But I know he's speaking all right truth because I come from hell. I know everything he's saying right now, it got to be true. It got to be true. So I just want everybody listening, man, keep your head up. And y'all on the right track. And I want to say thank you Tazadaq Shah for doing this. You know what I'm
More
saying?
praises, brother. More praises. I actually done a seminar out there, brother, in Orlando. Yep. Actually done a seminar out there in your town, brother. So
Yeah, when y'all supposed to be come back? Cause I want to come.
I'm not sure, man. But right now it's not. Florida is crazy right now. They want to quarantine you if you go there.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. Like they enforcing a lot of stuff, and
You don't
it's
plan on
real
doing a seminar in
crazy.
New York either, right? I'm sorry, Matt.
No, you go ahead, brother.
You plan on doing a seminar in New York?
Really right now, brother. The reason I haven't done any is because I usually want at least 50 people at the seminar, and to have 50 people, because you know these like hotels or whatever, they probably gonna try and abide by the rules. So to have 50 people 6 feet apart, you need a big, huge room. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Well, we love
they,
the
they, they
online.
they try to enforce that social distancing, and you know. Jurisdiction, everything is pretty much gained by contract, Lauren. Everything is contract. Cynthia Moore, what you got? So a birth certificate is a negotiable instrument, man. It's a registered security. It is a stock certificate evidencing or representing a preferred stock. If the corporation, which is actually the United States, the surety, you're the surety pedigree chattel. And that's the surety pedigree chattel document establishing the existence of your storeman, that birth certificate. And your storeman is a distinct artificial person with a fictitious name. So the document of title to a storeman is a warehouse receipt for your body. You see how when things are stored in a warehouse receipt, that birth certificate is a warehouse receipt for your body. It's a delivery receipt. It's an industrial bond between you, the real man, and the industrial society and the corporate U.S. government, which is your artificial person, man, your storeman.
Am I live? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I have a question. You said that if you were going to a courtroom, but you mentioned people going into a courtroom and they have no one recording anything, and they do that a lot.
See,
excuse me?
I wouldn't go. Like, if they don't have a court reporter, you can hire your own court reporter. If you go into a courtroom, right, and there's no court reporter, there's no one recording the proceedings, the judge could basically get away with whatever he wants to.
Exactly.
Because there's no record.
That's what happened with me just about 3 weeks ago. I went in there and no one was recording, and I mentioned that. But he seemed to not care about it, and he called the bailiff in there. Because you can only go in there, they only allow 2 people in the courtroom right now because of the coronavirus.
Which state is this, sis?
South Carolina.
All right. Yeah, so, you know, before, I don't know if they are going to reschedule that, but before that happens, because that doesn't make a lot of sense. If it's an empty-ass courtroom, I don't see why a court reporter wouldn't be able to be in there. You know what I mean? And so I would tell him I need a copy of the record. Is the proceedings going to be recorded? If not, I'm going to bring my own court reporter and see how he responds to that, or tell him a virtual court would be better where it could be recorded.
Actually, it already happened, so what should I do now? Because I went in there because I had someone to pass. Well, the guy that I lived with for many years, he passed away on the 7th, which we considered as common law marriage. But they were giving me the runaround, won't let me file any papers or let me go represent his estate.
Well, let me just interject. Most states There's only a couple states that even acknowledge common law marriage now.
Yeah, South Carolina just stopped in on the 25th of June.
Yeah. So that was only the last two. It was only D.C. and South Carolina that actually allowed that.
Exactly. But I was already considered his common law marriage. We were considered common law marriage before then. So they still should, honor that.
Right. So you was going in to, I guess, to
represent his estate. Yes.
Yeah.
What's going
schedule that? Usually you have like 10 days to file an appeal.
Okay, so it's 10 days over, yeah.
It's already past 10 days?
Yes. It was on the 13th.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring a new case then. You're gonna have to bring a new case. You're gonna have to bring a new case, and what I would do is because did he deny? He didn't allow that. He didn't acknowledge you as wife. So what he's gonna try and do when there's no family member that comes forward, the state would actually take his property and so on and so forth, and that's why he's going to move like that. That's why he's moving like that. So yeah, I would bring a new case, and I will provide some sort of proof that you and him has actually been living together for X amount of time, and get a couple witnesses that know that, and then take it to a notary, right, and get it notarized. So now you have an affidavit, which is a sworn statement, and you submit that into the record. So that's your proof that you and him was actually common law married prior to this new statute being passed. So that's
exactly. I didn't know that because I keep going to the probate place and they're telling me I need to bring in proof and stuff, but they never take my paperwork because by the VA, because he was in the VA, I'm also getting his benefits and I'm considered through the VA as his common law wife, as his wife.
Right.
And I was power of attorney over him before he passed away. And then the power of attorney papers is showing that he said that we lived together for 11 years and was common law marriage for 6 years.
So you need to submit that into the record.
That's what I just found out by listening to you guys and learning what I know a lot of things spiritually. That's why I know this is true, because it's about controlling the soul.
Right.
And actually everything is about natural law. That's why they can't really do anything to the man. The man have to consent. And with our ignorance, we consent.
Right.
And they do a lot of trickery. So I know this is exactly the situation, and what you guys are saying is true. But how they handle it, one thing about it, when you start doing this situation, and because we are so ignorant and we've been so ignorant about this situation for so long, they're going to play games. But as more people learn about this and start doing it and realize that that's why I say we have to be responsible for ourselves. We don't need government to take care of us. We went away from our natural state, which is our God state. And by doing that, we allow them to take control of ourselves. So that's why they had to get the straw man. Right. So we can instead of being the straw man. So I know what you're saying, brother, is totally true. But we just have to realize, and because of ignorance, and that's why, even with the graduation hat, they keep us like a dead zombie, so that we won't want to read things, we don't want to do things, and we go get an attorney, and we go get these people that's working with the system. That's the dominant and control system to keep us dumbed down to control us.
Right, you're graduating.
Excuse me?
When you graduate, you graduate into ignorance. They're dumbing you down.
Exactly.
Because it's the education system that has everyone like they are. If you notice, the more education a person has, the harder it is for them to break away from the matrix.
Oh yes, because they think they have it, and see, they give those ones a little bit more commerce, more debt.
They're usually in a better plantation house, right?
Exactly.
The plantation house is a little better. But the
like a house, like you step
out of line.
Yeah, you break it up a lot.
Step out of line, you see it.
Sound problem. Walter, can you mute your mic, please?
Okay, I can hear. Try talking again because you were breaking up a lot.
It's better now.
Oh yeah, I was saying you could witness this when one of these celebrities step out of line, right? No matter how rich
That's
they
the
are,
360
you see how they
contract.
just break them down like they're nothing.
Exactly. They control everything. And if you are a celebrity and you are very famous, you definitely in that 360 contract. Because they're not it's not about talent. Everything is a game. Football is a damn game. You know? There's no such thing. If you are successful in any of this dominant control system like that, you're playing the game. They're not going to allow you in unless you're going to play the game.
And those people, they sold their souls. Most of them
Exactly.
are these alternative lifestyles because they have to get something on you so you can expose the secret. So they go through all types of rituals.
Yeah, that's why so many gay guys in Hollywood now, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's always, and just like when you see certain things go on in those situations, like even with I forgot his name, just recently passed because I'm not into sports at all. But they do rituals on those sports. They do rituals in religions. You know, it's about they doing this because we're nothing but consciousness, which is the soul of God. And I know that, like I say, I'm a metaphysics, and I'm above the race situation. And I'll tell you why I'm above that. They use a pyramid system, a pyramid scheme. Everybody, this is my opinion. You know, they use a pyramid scheme. And what the pyramid scheme is, because the creator went within himself to experience itself. We did have a fall, and that's when the dark forces wanted to control the simulator that we are in. We are experiencing ourselves, but it's dark forces that's taking over that did a dominant control system and put us in a pyramid scheme. We're in an avatar suit. And what we are is the soul within that avatar suit, the part of God that's in that avatar suit. And that part of us is the creator experience itself in different, because we're like in like a, that's why you see different movies. And you have on what they call a black suit, which is an avatar of different colors, of different races, because how could you have a film? It won't be excited if you have everybody thinking and doing the same thing and looking the same way. So actually, they even use race, even though that suit that you're in is at the low of the pyramids. And one thing that I did read that maybe your suit was the first suit of being created of the avatar. There's something to think about because melanin is very important. But brother, when it all boils down the same, that's the oneness. And they use racism. That's why you see the George Floyd and all that bullshit, is to keep us divided. They divide us even there's no such thing as race. We all are the soul. And when we have unity consciousness and realize that, and stop fighting each other and realize that we are one, and that's the oneness they talk about. And nobody can't even picture that because we have been destroyed. Because I am a black woman. Well, I'm just using so you can give an example. I am a soul, but I have on an avatar suit that they call black or whatever they want to call it. But I am the soul. And when we realize that we are the soul of all races and come together, because divided we fall. But together we stand. However it goes, however that goes, I think you know the saying. But anyway, we have to realize that we all one. And when we realize that, because what I do to myself, I do to you, because I'm doing it to the Creator. And that's the big game. This is nothing but a dominant control game here that we have going on. And right now.
Hey Michelle, you gotta come into a Chrome browser. You could only come into a Chrome browser.
Oh, you can't hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. And what we have to realize here, and this is the big game. This is the big. Even in the Bible tells you, you're not the body, you're the soul. We're just having an experience and we're traveling through. And they always talk about the oneness. And the whole thing, the dark side, what they're doing is because we manifest through our thoughts. And that's why when you tell people about churches and going to churches and stuff like that, and all these games and stuff, anything in this world right now today that they're allowing you to do, and it has a mass like education, sports, religion, all these different things. What do you think? Drink the blood and eat the flesh. If you study any type of voodoo, is your thoughts, because we are the creator, and with unity consciousness is very powerful. So what a man thinks is who he is. So what they call witchcraft to tell people to stay away from, you do it every day by all your thinking. That's why they keep you in fear. They keep you confused. They keep you working so you won't go within to know who you are, and that we all are brothers and sisters. And that's because this energy now, the universe is asking you, is consenting. And when you put that mask over your face and you do all these different things, you telling the universe that you're consenting to the control of somebody else. And that's where they talk about pushing God out of the situation. And when we stand up together and realize that we are the soul, that we are the man, that's why they can't do certain things with the law, but they can use trickery. Because once they took that goal away from us, they still had to provide a way that we could also do things, because it's a universal law. But they use trickery, and we put ourselves in that situation. And I am very much ignorant to the law situation, and that's why it's so important now that I am going to start getting your books. I'm going to start listening to more things, because I know this is a major, major things, because we are becoming awakened. Some of us a little bit more than others, but we are becoming awakened. But I think we all need to learn, no matter how much the pain and the problems that we have, that we really are one. Until we realize that unity consciousness, they're going to always divide us. Because we're going to be fighting against each other, because we've all been soul traumatized.
Some people have it in mind that they want to divide us no matter what. They don't want to see anything other than division. And, I mean, we need to recognize that. What you're saying, and, how powerful that is, you have to look at our reality and look like some people, no matter what, they won't change. So I just thought that needs to be, thought about as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, there's some people that fight for the system, brother. And those are the Petrix. Those are the talking heads. These are the people that want to stay in the matrix, and they rise up against people like us. And so most people are not going to awaken. You got to realize that, man. Most people think that the whole birth certificate thing is all made up. They don't believe that your birth certificate is a security instrument used by the United States government to obtain loans from its creditors, the Federal Reserve System. They don't believe that. And when people, to all of you that may still be in doubt, have a look at chapter 11, right? Reorganization. In 1936, each birth certificate, when this thing started in 1933, by 1936, each birth certificate was assigned a value of $63,000. Today, from birth, each birth certificate starts at $1 million, and it just goes up. So the collateral for the loans issued against the birth certificate is what? Is your body. Is your labor. Is your pledge, right? Your labor, your property. And so all of this, man, what is a birth certificate? It's a contract. And what is a contract? Contract means the total legal obligation which results from parties' agreement as affected by the code and other applicable rules, man. That's UCC 1-201. That's a contract. The corporation. What is a corporation? That's you. Most people are corporate slave, man, but don't understand it. It's an artificial or legal entity created by or under the authority of laws of a state. That's the corporation. It's an association of persons created by status of a legal entity, which makes most people corporations. The Lord treats the corporation itself as a person that can be sued, right? The corporation is distinct from the individual who actually comprises it, which is actually the shareholder. So the corporation survives the death of its investors, and the shares usually are transferred. It's a corporation, man. And then you have what is known as the District of Columbia, right? That's a territory, man. That's a territory on Potomac River, and it's being the seat of the government of the United States, which is really what? A corporation. It was originally 10 square miles and was comprised of portions of Maryland and Virginia, right? Ceded by those states to the United States. But in 1846, what happened? In 1846, the tract coming from Virginia was retroceded legally, is neither state nor territory, but it's made subject by the Constitution to the exclusive jurisdiction of Congress. People just been dumbed down, man. People really don't know what's going on. A fictitious name. They think all this stuff is made up, man. It's not made up. You could go get a Black Lewis dictionary and go and research everything that I'm saying. You're gonna find out I'm telling you the truth, man. Fictitious name, that's counterfeit. Anything fictitious is counterfeit. It's a pretend name. A name taken by a person deferring to some essential particular name that's not his. It's not real. So your birth certificate is on bond paper. Why? Why they put it on bond paper? Why didn't they just put it on regular paper if this is all made up? A bond is what? A bond is a certificate or evidence of a debt. That's what a bond is, on which the issuing company or the governmental body promise to pay the bondholder specific amount of interest for a specific length of time. That's a bond. And to repay the loan on the expiration date. That's a bond, man. And so a light should go off. The birth certificate is the bond instrument employed by the government to secure loans. Do you understand? And you keep making yourself a surety. But what is it? What does the book of Proverbs say about surety shit? You keep making yourself a surety for the strong man. The Proverbs say, he that is surety or
he that is surety for another will surely hurt for it.
What was that, Stefan?
Oh, he who is surety for another will surely hurt for it. They will surely.
Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11 and 15.
Right.
It says, whoever he that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it. That's English. That means he that makes himself responsible for someone else will suffer for it. But one who hates being a surety is security. So you got to stop being a surety for your straw man. This is what they make you when you answer to the name. A surety is one who has contracted himself to be answerable for the debt of another by default. You're answering for the miscarriage of another. A surety is one who undertakes to pay money or to perform acts in the event that his principal fails to do so. You keep making yourself a surety, and they make you chattel. A chattel is an article of personal property. You're property of the government. You're black slaves. You'll go white people now, you're black slaves with the 14th Amendment. A chattel is any species of property not amounting to free in land. Are you free? Not really. If you think you're free, Go ahead to Sweden. Don't use your passport. Artificial people, persons, chattel, sureties, attorney. What's an attorney, man? What is that? What the hell is an attorney? Well, in the law dictionary for the past 200 years, when you look up the word attorney, it's the one who acts in the ruin of another. Attorney doesn't have a license to practice law. Yeah, man, we've been dumbed down, man. People been dumbed down. You've been duped. You've been
Yeah, you know, I thought that I wanted to be an attorney when I was younger and uninformed. And over the years, I found out that, you know, attorneys don't know as much as we're led to believe that they do.
Go on. They just know procedure.
Right. They don't know the law. They know procedure. That argument. They know how to argue and they know procedure.
And they know how to reduce most people into debtors, man. A person that owes something, man, that has to do a performance of payment.
Yeah.
He has an obligation. That's a debtor, man.
That's correct.
Have a look at UCC 9-105. Most people are debtors, man. They're not creditors. This is why so many people argue. Like the brother that was coming on here early, the brother thought he had it down. I said, brother, you're arguing. You're making statements. Now you got to prove that.
Exactly.
And the
now,
IRS.
If the judge would ask. Yep.
The IRS, all of you that fear the IRS is revenue, meaning revenue. It takes things from one venue and put it in a different one. It's simply an intelligence gathering agency under the Commissioner of the Internal Revenue, who is under the Secretary of the Treasury, who is under the IMF. It goes back to the banksters, man.
That's right.
And I'm going to hit you with something that'll shock a lot of you, man. The Secretary of Treasury, John Taylor, does not work for the United States government. He's the receiver in bankruptcy for the creditor of the bankrupt United States government. You understand? He's the owner of the private Federal Reserve Bank. So simply stated, the Federal Reserve is the creditor and the United States government is the debtor. They own them, man. That's the Illuminati, man. The banksters is the Illuminati. So under UCC 1-201, the IRS, the Commissioner of Internal Revenue, and the Secretary of Treasury are all defined as creditors because they are acting as agent for the actual creditor and the real party of interest. The United States is a debtor, man. They went into debt mode. That's what it is, man.
That's right. That's right. They're hypothecating all of your future labor and basically trading it in the form of these birth certificates. Because they basically pawned off all their property. And now and the only thing that they had left to pawn was basically the future labor of its citizens, the United States citizens. And that's why that's basically the origin and basically the crux of all this that's happening right now. And
Cool.
and they created the IRS basically as another way to draw actual wealth from the private venue to the public venue. So because the people who, you know, the banksters, you know, they basically suck everything out of the public and they put it back into their own private pockets. or their private you know um um estates and businesses and things like that.
Con. Yeah, man.
It's a long con, and it took a long time and a lot of brilliant people to basically uncover the truth of what happened, of what has been happening for the past over 100 years. And y'all people better listen to the Quran, man. He knows what he's talking about. Cause it said that only barely 1 in a million would figure this out. And even fewer would know what to do with the information. So like you are like people, you are in a blessed time to actually be able to get on, to be in touch with somebody who knows about this situation and knows what to do and how to move in this system of commerce. Because this is literally a battle for your soul. It's a battle for your mind, a battle for your soul. They're trying to enslave everybody. They're trying to eliminate private property rights. That's why they're going so hard at the Second Amendment right now.
Right.
But shoot, I digress. I'm gonna go ahead and just back out. Let you continue.
Yeah. So Michelle, come on in the room. See you typing something over there. You got to come in from a Chrome browser. And I'm gonna tell you something, man, folks. The Social Security account number, an account number is attached to the birth certificate, straw man, right? Well, on the front of your Social Security, remember this, right? The front is always public. The back is always private, right? The front's always public. The back is always private. Yeah, you got to come in on a Chrome browser, Michelle. So the number belongs to, number on the front of that Social Security card, that belongs to the straw man. The card to the Social Security Administration, right? Now in securities and the like, when a serial number appears in red ink, as on the reverse side of your Social Security card, that red signifies that it's private. We're supposed to always operate in the private as opposed to the public. The problem is, most of you want to operate in the public, like the guy that was coming on earlier. He wanted to argue, man. You keep it in the private. See, remember that the big game is the accounting game, and that the ledger must always balance. Whatever appears on the public side of the ledger is a straw man's account, must be balanced out on the side. The red number is attached to someone's true name. Go and check it out. Check it out for yourself. You getting this, Drake? Still there, Drake? You still with us? Are you getting this? Oh, Drake fell out. Patrick Williams, what do you have? You're a little late, Patrick Williams. We're about to shut it down, but what do you have, Patrick Williams? A transmitting utility. I said that the debtor was a transmitting utility, right? What exactly is a transmitting utility, Patrick Williams? Click the link. Come in the room, Pat Williams. We all use electric, right? Use water. Use a telephone. You use the sewer service. You all use this in your lives. See, the bills for these services come in the name of the straw man, but you're the ones that have to pay them. We are afforded access to these services. They are transmitted to us by virtue of the straw man. So the straw man is a transmitting utility in whose all capital letter fiction's name we have a nexus to the public venue. So you don't want to destroy the straw man. You want to control it. Because he's a transmitting utility. He's your nexus. Drake, you keep falling out, King. He's your nexus. Your storeman interfaces between you and the public industrial society. He transmits to you the man, the womb man, from the public venue to the private venue. All manner of services which are available only from the public venue via the artificial person, the storeman. And so the term utility in patent law means what? It means industrial value. The capability of being so applied in a practical affair as to prove advantageous in the ordinary pursuits in life. A transmitting utility is used to convey industrial value from one entity to another, from the industrial corporation to the biological man and woman, or from the public side to the private side, to make it simplistic, of the national economy. Do you understand? Got that, Patrick Williams? If you got that, that alone, man, that's powerful to handle your case. Important points to remember, right? Yeah, Michelle, are you on a phone or are you on a computer? You just simply click on the Chrome browser. You click the link, it brings you in the back room, then I'll let you in. If it's not working, maybe you have something blocking. So when the United States declared bankrupt in 1933, Roosevelt called all governors of the states together and said, we have bankrupt the nation. In order to get out of this, we have to do something that's illegal, which is to mortgage the future assets of our states. This is illegal, but we could get away with it if we do it unanimously. You understand? Roosevelt said this. So the illegal act was mortgaging the future income of each state. What did he mean by that? He mean the citizens of the state, the people. So they all agreed and they created the administrative courts to enforce the illegal process, which functions on the basics of statutes and codes outside of sovereignty rights and outside of the Constitution. There are now over 60 million statutes and codes today. Just go and visit a law library. But all of these codes, statutes, and administrative courts apply only to someone in bondage, only the debtors, only the storemen, whose birth certificate is being mortgaged by the United States government to pay the creditors on Chapter 11 bankruptcy. You understand?
They sound outrageously ridiculous.
What's that?
I've read some of them that sound outrageously ridiculous. I mean, it's like, just can imagine that something like, who would sit down and think to put that in the law? Like, what was they on at the time when they were doing it? And who did they think they was going to do that to? I mean, these are the things that, you know, make you wonder.
Hey, man. Govern yourselves or it will be done for you. Govern yourselves or it will be done for you. See, the best thing an attorney could do is to make a deal, which is to compromise. How much rather than a clear win? That's what he does for you in court. See, you must be the holder in due course, the HDC, of the action. You want to be, if you want to reclaim the right to your straw man, you got to become a secure party creditor, man. And so then when sovereignty is established in law, you become the creditor, and any adverse party, the debtor, in a dispute with you, If you fail to establish the Sabbatean law, you don't own yourself, man. You are a slave. You're in fact a slave. It's really that simple, folks. It's really that simple. And so, as a result,
I had an issue trying to make a purchase on your site. I just thought I'd bring to your attention.
well, it must be on your side, good brother. What are you having an issue with? What are you having an issue with, Drake? It must be on your side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just having. Well, yeah. I when I went to put in the information to make the payment, the screen didn't come up after that. It stopped right there. That was yesterday.
There's probably something on your side blocking it. Possibly you have pop-ups blocked, because that will open a new window. So you may have pop-ups blocked, something of that nature. Because I mean, people order there all of the time, so I'm pretty sure that it's functioning as should be.
I can't hear. I'm gonna have to re-enter the call because I can't hear anything. It's chopping up.
Roger that. Roger that. And so, with that, I'm going to bring this to an end. I thank everyone for listening. Thanks for your thumbs up. And next Tuesday, I'm just so you guys can know, I'm going to be going over to Jeremiah Judah's platform, because he wants me to reach out to Yasha Allah and tell them what this is all about. And so, I'll open it up so people can ask questions and give, those that still asleep to this an awakening to those that can receive it. And so with that, I'm going to say shalom. Thanks for listening. Like the video, share the video.